everybody.
Hi, my name is Trey. I have a basketball game tomorrow.
Hi, Billy Mays here.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games.
Hi there.
Hi. Good morning.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hello.
Isn't happy hour anytime?
All week long. Where's the gavel cream? Oh, there it is. Happy Taco Tuesday, Taco. Good to see you. We got a case right back at it. Ready to go. We're
Right back in here. Judge Alex is not dead. I repeat, Judge Alex is not dead. Last we saw Judge Alex spurting a bloody nose, but she seems to have pulled through just fine.
Seems to be in a halfway decent mood, and everybody's smiling today. We'll come back to this in just a minute. Mikey, I got something for you I want to jump over to that
understand that?
Yes.
looks interesting.
Why are we inside a microwave?
That's what I was going to say. It looks like we're inside of a microwave, but it's in the back of a vehicle.
Oh, wow.
So I just want to see how this one plays out.
City's position on bail and release.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Colty is here just in time, ladies and gentlemen, for court.
Conditions for Mr. Bazan, standard conditions including no contact with Fred Myers, the victim's store. Also, no possession or consumption.
Never seen him go to the van.
No, I mean, what are we arresting him and taking him straight in?
He has multiple warrants out of Marysville Municipal.
Somebody's creeping into frame.
Looking to see. It looks like
it's got to be right.
Holding it right now, so he'll probably see the court there today or tomorrow as well. So it might not be released today, but
listen to the bass in his voice.
Yeah, he's got a good voice.
And then Mr. Feldman, any issue with those and any request for appointment?
I asked the court directly to appoint Feldman Lee. He's indigent. I spoke to a Marysville colleague. I think he's going to be going to court for that before being released.
Any issues on the conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, I love that spot.
Based on that, I will directly appoint counsel and release on personal recognizance as recommended with the following conditions. Make sure to timely appear at all court hearings, have no criminal law violations. Also, I think I didn't say this before, enter a plea of not guilty based on what he said. The conditions: do not possess any alcohol or non-prescribed drugs, do not go to Fred Meyer, quash the warrant, though it sounds like that's going to get taken care of.
Oh, hello.
Update the court of any change in address. Only use your true legal name and date of birth. And you'll be released on those conditions.
What'd this dude do?
The next court date, July 19th at 10 o'clock. And so I'm signing off on that order, Mr. Bazan. So make sure to have contact with your attorney.
Is that Alex?
Next up.
This is what I think that Alex looks like, by the way, over here in the corner.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That concludes that matter.
Very well.
Staring at me through
We
the
can go
computer.
back to the 8 a.m. calendar for the
Thank you, our guy.
Matters. 280-403521, 280-403531, 180-685.
Anybody else feel like they're going to get killed or shanked by this dude?
7965, 180-3419.
I feel like he's about to escape.
180-3419. 31. If you'd like to plead not guilty to all charges and waive formal reading, I believe a few of these were in warrant status and probable causes are even found. However, I didn't review all the reports prior to the hearing today, and I don't have any PC arguments to make. He is indigent. Ask the court to appoint Feldman Lee on all matters.
All right, hurry up. We want to go to the jail van iPad.
Is your true name Brian Dahl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian Dahl,
Do you have
everybody.
the opportunity to go over your rights with your attorney?
Yeah.
You have any questions about those rights?
No.
He's ready to go.
You're charged with a few different things. So theft in the third degree, another count of that's from March
I think he's just going to leave.
Theft in the third degree from March 21st, 2021.
He's just getting up and walking away.
May 16th.
The judge is talking to him.
criminal trespass in the first degree.
Oh, no, we're talking to the guy in the van now.
From October 16th,
We are?
2021.
Yeah, that's Mr. Dahl.
Criminal trespass in the first degree from
I thought the person
June
down
6th,
below just answered.
2022, as well as criminal
God,
trespass
get
in the
with it,
first
Creed.
degree and theft in the third degree from June 6th of 2022.
In one of those, Your Honor, the 531 cause number, it looks like that data violation is incorrect when I looked at the report. I've uploaded an order on motion to amend that data violation to May 29th of 2022.
All right, so that's the cause number ending in 531. Any position about the request to amend it? All right, so I will approve that. That'll be amended to that correct date of 5/29/22.
Nice.
I guess I'll correct myself. One charge of criminal trespass in the first degree and theft in the third degree from May 29th of 2022.
Thank you.
So I've signed off on that order, on that motion. So Mr. Dahl, do you understand the nature of those charges?
Yeah.
All right. And has your attorney gone over the potential penalties, maximum penalties for those?
Yeah.
All right. So these are all gross misdemeanors, punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. What is your plea?
Everything he does is gross.
Guilty.
Remember, Mr. Dahl, we discussed pleading not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty. Good.
Okay, so your plea, the court will enter a plea of not guilty for all of these. One of these, the cause number ending in 930, has the warrant. That warrant will be recalled given he's in custody. And I think that brings us to the city's position on bail and release.
It's
I believe
beautiful.
your mic's not on. Jeff.
Beautiful.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Your Honor. Given the multiple warrants that were active at the time, the continued
Voice.
unlawful behavior with the continued thefts and trespasses from stores he's been trespassed from previously, and just his criminal history here in the Linwood area for the last couple of years, 2017, 2018, 2019.
Local roustabout.
Regular
Shocker.
arrests. Nothing in 2020, so I don't know
Buggery.
if that was potentially the felony put him away for a little while. Nonetheless, Your Honor,
This is court.
setting bail now that we have
Bad
Mr. Dahl
people
before the court in
Getting in
custody.
trouble and
In terms
things.
of conditions, no contact with Target, no contact with Fred Meyer,
Target.
no consumption of alcohol, marijuana, non-prescribed drugs. or
Fred Meyer's a
paraphernalia.
store, isn't it?
It must be because the other guy couldn't go back to Fred Meyer either.
All right.
Busy day at Fred
I guess
Meyer.
Just to be clear, in terms of what the court can consider for release, it would really only be his failure to appear history. Doesn't
This is
appear that
live.
there's
in
any
case anybody says.
danger issue, and it wouldn't be appropriate for the court to consider simply the number of charges. Would you agree with that?
Sorry. I can't consider criminal history when it comes to
Maybe he doesn't have that great voice. Maybe he's just sick.
The administration of justice, but criminal history
The
in and of
grocery
itself, absent something like that, I think you're right, Your Honor.
All right.
God,
Mr. Feldman, response.
Thank you, Your Honor. And ask the court to release Mr. Dahl on his promise to appear.
Yeah.
And so
I don't know about
I
that.
believe that outside of this incident, all the other cases were cite and release, or he's going to get it in the mail later. Unfortunately, that did not work out. So now that he's actually here and has notice of court dates, I'd ask the court to consider releasing him, giving him a chance to appear at custody. Thank you.
Well,
Might
I
be a high
reviewed his history. He does have non-appearance history
And then he goes right into an Arby's commercial for the new burger.
going back. It's like several years. There wasn't any in 2020, but there's some in 2019, some in 2018, multiple in 2018.
That's why we
multiple in
watch. Makes us feel better about
2017,
ourselves, though.
Yeah.
2016 and 2015.
Lurk all you want.
Pretty much every year having some non-appearance history up until 2020.
He's been there a lot.
And,
He's going to get a good one.
Potential explanation for that looks like a felony conviction. So based on that, I am finding that there is an issue with failure to appear
10 grand.
and a concern for that. I'm going to impose
I said 5.
500
What?
bail, and I'm changing it now on the order. 500 for each.
Oh, for each.
Count.
Okay.
For a total of?
And
Close
any
to 5K.
release will be on the following conditions that I'll go over in a moment.
Yeah. He smells all right.
The release will be based on, or the conditions will release
Thank you for the fake stars.
if that bail is put up. Appear timely in any court hearings.
I do. Tell me more,
Violations
please.
Do not go to
No,
target.
thank you.
Do not possess alcohol or non-prescribed drugs. Update and address. Only use true legal name and date of birth.
That's
And
a
make
new
it
one.
appear at the
Don't
next
use your
hearing,
true
June
legal name.
29th at
I
8
do.
o'clock.
Tell me more, please.
And I will
I'm
directly appoint
passing.
Feldman and Lee.
I do. Tell me more, please.
And
I
believe
I
that
too am passing.
concludes these matters. Talked about the warrant. And
Chief
so,
Stephen O'Neill.
we'll see you back here, Mr. Dahl, June 29th at 8 o'clock.
He said, no, you won't.
And I have
He said, oh, hell no.
anything else for Mr. Dahl?
I think that's it on Mr. Dahl.
I'll show you failure to
Your
appear.
Honor, I need to check in Miss Warner.
Who's Miss Warner?
Lee, and I think the other 9 a.m. matter and the off-record matter can be handled by Mr. Edsero while I'm in a breakout room with the
Right.
8 o'clock.
All right, so they're going to be a little bit. So let's go back to the nosebleeder
So-
who is alive, which I'm glad.
Yeah.
Oh, is he Creed framed?
No, I paused it because I
Oh.
saw they were going into some video,
Uh-huh.
and I'm a fan of watching people's video they submit. So I
Oh,
want to
that's a
see
good point.
Your Honor, can I say
Hold
something,
on,
Your
got a
Honor?
couple specific questions.
something
Okay.
between
All
the
right,
two of
'cause I'm
these.
looking at, all right, so see what, because she said possession ownership of the property, so that's why she put that. See, I'm just trying to understand. Judge Houston, because I made no attempt
Tracy
You've
made
to
it
write a.
well.
Okay,
Look how Tracy's place.
I would like to
nice.
share my screen if you like, Your Honor. I have plenty of text messages, pictures, my
You got a
billing
spaceship
statement
or
of that
something?
mortgage down there, where we actually in court because he stole the Acura, where you see the 2005
Why is he
Acura
bouncing
was
around?
To me. He forged my
Is
signature
he in the
on
back of
that.
Your
a
Honor,
van?
just
Okay,
hearsay,
hold
Your
on,
Honor.
hold on.
Hearsay, Your Honor.
Here's what I want to do. So I'm talking about, let's see.
I like that he just said
So
hearsay,
you
Your
have-
Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Deagle, you have proof because you said that he's living at that address. What's your proof he's living there?
Yes, ma'am. I actually I went down on Mother's Day to try to see my son. It was around 10:49 p.m. and Mr. Stegall was there and my son was not present. I have a picture that I would like to share my screen.
I sent that, I uploaded that video, Your Honor, to your courts. I was also at that property working with the discretion and the invitation of my son.
At
Ms. Stegall,
11:49,
Miss-
at 10:49 p.m.
You
At
interrupted me.
10:49 p.m. and my
Miss-
son was
Can
not
you-
present.
Your Honor, my son stated that his mom called him, but he did not speak to her. She was not to come onto the property while I'm there, knowing that I'm
brothers?
there. I was there with the invitation of my son working because him and I are adding a bathroom to the property.
How old is their
So
son?
that's why
I was
I
thinking
was
like
at the
small
property.
children. They
Mr.
both
Gall
look
came
great
onto
for
the
older
property
children.
unannounced. And it states in the court order she's not to come there without
You know I'm
the
reading the
invitation.
court. You know I'm reading it, right? You know I got
Oh,
two screens. That's why you
I
see me.
apologize.
Let me see.
I
All right,
apologize.
so
A lot of, oh my God,
how
look
old's
at
your
those
son?
windows
Is
open.
he gonna hold the son?
He's 20.
What?
And I have text messages where my son was very upset. He said that I'm harassing him because I came on the premises, but it was Mother's Day and I was in the neighborhood and I did not expect Mr. Stegall to be there. He's constantly there.
Stegall.
Every
Our
time and
son
I have
reached
more
out to her
messages
several times
where I
on
have to
Mother's Day.
walk to the top of the hill to pick up my son when I come down there. I don't even go down there anymore because my
Both
son
ways
feels like
she
I'm
goes
harassing
uphill,
him
yeah.
because if I come down there, yes, I have the right to call the police because he's like always there, constantly, AM and PM. So when it was time for me to serve him, the 3 times, I think it was 3 times I need to serve him, each time the processor found him on the property.
She's getting
Every
feisty.
time he's always
And-
there. He claimed that
and
he's
that's
doing
always
business,
been-
but then he's claiming that he don't have money to pay my
Hey.
lawyer.
Hey,
But he's
Terminator.
paying he got a truck note. He have a car note. He's paying that. I mean, I don't understand why he's not paying my legal fees. Why is he always on the property? I can never go down there. I picked my son up from the top of the hill. That's not fair, Mr. Stigall.
Okay.
She had like an attorney.
You're picking up, hold on. So you're picking up your 20-year-old son?
From the top of the hill. I picked him up.
Heel.
So in May,
Heel.
one time twice, he told me, well, Daddy here right now, and I can show that. I would like to show that Dad is here right now.
Hold on, Miss Aldridge, y'all both pause for a second. I'm gonna bring Miss Aldridge in because she's sitting there waiting patiently, and she's just like, yeah. All right, Miss Aldridge, you got to see your face.
Okay.
Right. You mind raising your right hand for me, Miss Aldridge? You swear for a testimony you're gonna give the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Aldridge, just tell me what you have first-hand knowledge of. That's it, and when.
Witness.
Go.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
What do you have first-hand knowledge of? You know, like on May 5th, Mr. Stigall called me, and I know he called me because that's his voice, and he said, "Hey, it's Marcus." So what do you have first-hand knowledge of? Period. And tell me, you know,
This is that
roughly
bathroom
when.
they're
If you
working
can't
on.
remember
I
to
do
take
have photos
photos,
of the bathroom in question that they're working on
Tell me what you
together.
got first-hand knowledge.
Father and son.
Okay. So
Touches
this
your
year,
heart,
most
Creed.
recently, the month of May 13th, I received a direct message via Facebook Messenger, and I ignored it. And then since then, he's removed it, but I ignored it. But then a few days later, I did receive a phone call. I'm a real estate broker here in Georgia, so I receive random numbers daily. So I answered it, and it was Marcus. And so he just wanted to just share what he was thinking.
It was Marcus.
And he just, you know, so in the past, he's always spoken good about her. They were married. But this conversation was different. He didn't share much about her that was positive. It was very just negative. He just felt like she was very dishonest, insecure. And
okay.
I don't know, it was just a very strange conversation. And I didn't know what to take of it, except maybe he was just upset with her for whatever reason. I don't know exactly why he called me, except that he mentioned something about real estate. I'm in real estate, and so
that we get
2 times now.
Was talking about the home that he's living in, and
what home is that?
Come again?
What home is that?
I don't even have the address for the home.
Like,
I'm in real estate, Your Honor. We don't really deal with addresses.
We don't deal in addresses.
If anyone knows me, Judge, they know that when you mention real estate, I'm all ears. I'm here.
There it is again. Real estate, all ears.
I got you.
Third time
the
the
only
charm.
time he's reached out to you?
Yes, we really never spoken before, except for in the past, maybe on the phone with Tracy, and he's in the background. Is it's kind of like, oh, there's Marcus and everything. So we've never, had that type of relationship. It was just more so he was the husband of a friend of mine, and more like a sister. And yeah,
Marcus
so
was like a sister.
Interesting. But
do you see a penis flushing?
Thank you, Ms. Aldridge. Sorry it took so long. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Can I ask a question? Can I?
Hold on. What is it you want to ask Ms. Stigall that I didn't hear?
Yeah, she mentioned that he spoke of a property that he was residing at, and I
She
just
said
want to
she didn't
ask her,
remember.
would that be the property in Fairburn?
She'd already said she didn't remember the address.
Ms. Shani? Okay, so Ms. Aldridge.
Hold on.
He contacted you about.
Hold on. Ms. Stigall, you can't tell her the answer to the question. Ms. Aldridge.
yes, it's the home that he's living in that so before
Leading, Your
they
Honor.
began living in this home, years ago, they called me to talk about a home they wanted to purchase.
I'm in real estate.
I'm assuming that is the home that he was calling me about, that he's currently residing in, and he wants to sell the home because he wants to, I don't know, I guess receive, this is a good market to sell. So yeah.
I'm in real estate, by the way.
Did he tell you it's where I'm living? What made you think it's where he's living?
I went and slept with him, Your Honor.
And gosh, this call was actually in the middle of last month.
Right.
And, you know, but I do have reason to believe that it's definitely the home that he's residing in. And the conversation wasn't super long, but it was long enough to surmise that it's the home that he's currently residing in, and that he wants to sell it, and he wants to make contact with Tracy so that she would be willing to sell it. To work together to sell it, and to just ask me if I could assist in helping them to sell
Put
it.
you in the middle. Put you all up in the middle, Mr. Stegall, Ms. Stegall. I have heard what I need to hear from her. Thank you, Ms. Law.
I just heard a lawnmower shut
Okay,
off in
thank
front of
you.
my house.
Thank
My
you.
neighbors here, PRP.
And I'll tell you why I've heard it, Mr. Stegall, because she's been very, 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 that she made some assumptions, and because of the wording, that's the only way she could say, because you said contact Tracy, excuse me. But, yeah,
She was
contact
lying.
How dare you?
So, she's been a great witness. So if you want to ask her and see anything different, because I asked those specific things I needed to hear. So what specifically, without telling her an answer you want her to say, Mr. Stegall, would you want to ask? Because she
Yes.
said, honestly,
Yes.
what she remembers about the call.
Yes. So, so when I initially called you,
Perhaps.
did I not call initially about this? I told you that I'm about to
Oh,
file
you
a forced.
didn't tell her the answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She
Did
told why you called, it was about a house.
okay.
We're all
Did
in
I
her
or did I
computer.
initially call you about
You're telling her what to
knowing-
say.
knowing
What was
that
the
you're
initial, hold on, no, you're telling her what to say. What was the initial call about? Do you remember, Ms. Alden?
the initial call
No,
was about?
Mr. Stegall, I'm asking her. Do you
Oh, I'm
remember what
sorry.
the initial call was about, Ms.
These
Alden?
are some of the worst lawyers I've ever seen.
Yes, he called in reference to two different things. It seemed like he called to speak about the house and speak negatively about Tracy. But in my history of real estate, I do, you know, people when
real
when
estate
talking,
agent.
yeah, it's, you know, it's a lot of, it could be very interesting because
Thailand.
everyone has opinions, but you know, he was very adamant about painting a negative picture of Tracy by way of speaking about real estate as well. Because then he says, well, I have investors that will buy it. So
Okay.
then in my mind, I thought, well, then you don't need me. You don't need me if you have buyers already set up. So
she told me, what else is it with you not telling her the answer? Because she has told me, she has been a fantastic witness. I wish she could teach people how to testify. So what else is it that you want to ask that you don't have to tell her
She was a good witness.
the answer to? Tasha, tell me.
Did I or did I not mention that I needed your service because I knew that you were a friend of a realtor and as a friend of the family?
Mark, good to see you.
Oh, am I to answer?
I mean, what does that matter? I mean,
Well,
it's not what you said and why you picked her over anybody else. So, this is a business address. Hold on, that's a business address. Kick it back. I looked it up.
Well, Your Honor, the only
Okay, so Miss
reason-
Aldridge, I'm good, Mr. Stegall. I got exactly. Thank you, Miss Aldridge. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
I got it. No, I got it, Mr. Stegall, because see, if she called you, just most people call people that they know. That's not what I'm even trying to get. You can call that woman every day if you want to. If she says you could call her, I don't care. That's not the point.
I love Judge
That's not the
Alex's
point.
enthusiasm.
Well, Your Honor, can I say the truth now that everybody's told lies?
Okay,
Can I
I'm
say
here your side. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have a court. I've uploaded the court documents to where I filed a partition to partition, and out of all people I know, no one else in the court knows about this partition, but you're knowledgeable about real estate.
I know
So
what a
I found
partition
that
is. Have you served Miss Stegall with it?
Ms. Stegall has moved to Louisiana, and prior to that, she moved
So you haven't
away.
served her.
Yeah, I just filed it this week,
Okay,
so
so
she
you
has
just
not been
filed.
served.
So she
But I
hasn't-
Can't be bringing that up.
But I uploaded the filing and the summons to the courts. Because
sure you like this
all I've
video,
been
by the
trying
way.
to do is do what the previous judge recommended us to do. She
Hold on.
recommended.
Hold on, no. Don't tell me. Don't tell me what Judge Houston said out of her mouth, because all that I know that what Judge Houston said was what's on that piece of paper. And it said this unless there's been something else. Okay?
Yes,
So I don't want to hear, don't even say it, because I'm not going to believe it.
Okay.
'Cause I know
So
Judge Houston. I know her
okay,
a
so-
lot. And you don't know her like I know her.
I understand. I understand.
So
So
what she said is in that order. So I'm looking.
okay.
So
Okay. So I took.
obviously, hold on, God, hold on a minute. So it appears that you want to get rid of this property. And you want to partition it, basically to force Miss Stegall to do something.
Diva, you always eat like a child.
So you're
Good
going
to see
to go to court, but she hadn't been served. Isn't it to me, just so you know, Mr. Stegall is not service on.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. You're there, if Miss Steggall's living in.
Gotta simmer down, boys. She's having a time.
Y'all's issue with this house and this son is, bless his heart. No wonder he doesn't want to come, period. I'm just saying. But if you're there all the time, Mr. Stegall, you know, we all got one mom. And you should be encouraging him to have a relationship with his mama, just like I hope she's encouraged him to have a relationship with you. It sounds like you
I
got
always do.
You can
I
share
always.
your babies. Oh, tell me. Feedback. Stephanie, do I need feedback? She said I don't need feedback. All right.
Sorry.
So that's okay. That's okay. So here's the thing.
Good
What
advice.
y'all are doing with y'all's property, and it says she made it quick. At least he do this. I mean, y'all should have evicted him. I mean, and I don't have proof how often he gave him time to go over there. And you can't make kids, much less a 20-year-old who thinks they definitely know everything. It's like a 14-year-old girl, 20-year-old boy thinks he got the world in his hands. He don't. It's like a 14-year-old girl don't know what the world they're talking about.
Why is she talking about a
I'll tell you,
14-year-old girl?
This young man thinks that probably everything in the world is more important than mom and dad. Everything in the world. Ain't that right, Mr. Hubb brought up? Everything in the world is more important than mom and dad. Friends. Well, he's only 20, so I'm not saying he's friends. Hypothetically, if he were to be a partake of cold beers with friends once he's 21, that's all more important. Hanging out with his buddies, or dare I say,
We're getting all off track, aren't we,
he's not
Judge?
interested in, and they're interested in him. All that's way more important than y'all right now. And trust me. And y'all are old enough, y'all are my age, which is very young. One of these days, he's gonna realize how important both of y'all are to him. And that what he wished he would have done
nuts.
is said, whoever his friends are, whatever this girl is, he thinks the love of his life today, when they're 20, and y'all are both good looking people. I'm sure he's handsome. So he's probably got no problem with the girls. Who he's thinking is his
Or the
love
boy.
of his life, and he's
Come
gonna
on.
spend every weekend with. He's gonna wish he would have spent it with mom or dad or both. I'm just telling you, because it's not, y'all know that. Y'all have them regrets, right? When your parents say, dang it, why didn't I? And when they pass, those regrets just hit you, punch you in the nose. So y'all work on those.
Judge
If your parents
Alex,
are still alive. I hope
all
so.
over the
If
place.
not, I know how it feels. So here's the deal. Is what y'all want me to do on that, as far as the housing. I mean, she made it clear if there was some change in possession or ownership, which would mean a partition, or if you guys got together and said, why did we even want this? Let's just decide to sell it. Let's talk to Miss Aldridge. Maybe she can go to work. Maybe she can get some money. Maybe she's a friend.
The hell did I come back to?
Tell you, it's been like,
I don't know.
it's just been off the
I see
rails.
that. So I can't necessarily do anything about the contempt. If
She
you're
keeps going and then
in
she
these
catches herself and goes
environments.
back.
But y'all gotta put this, I mean.
Well, Your Honor, if I can intervene, we have two kids. We have a 23-year-old who has a granddaughter, and we have a 20-year-old. The previous judge.
20-year-old has a
awarded
granddaughter?
my 20-year-old the right to dictate who comes to the property. As a result, as you will see, and when I share my screen, Mr. Stegall will not allow the 23-year-old to come down there and stay unless I drop the TPO, in which he have made references.
Is that your son, the 20-year-old won't let the.
Your Honor,
No,
that's not
Mr.
me.
Stegall, he said, if you can see my screen, he said he was talking, his dad and him was communicating, I guess, to me. So he say, if you drop the TPO, he'll me and MJ $500. He'll give him.
You make that bigger.
Okay.
I just see the little, what do you call it, thumbnails.
Okay. He said if you drop the TPO, he'll give me and MJ $500 and
Michael
allow
Jackson?
him to move right back in now. So I want my son. I paid the mortgage for this property. I don't
And
want
I-
my kids
Your
living
Honor,
at this property.
Your Honor,
Mr.
I
Seagal
do all the other
is
expenses.
constantly-
Mr. Seagal, stand by, just let me finish, go ahead.
Okay.
Since Mr. Seagal is always at the residence, he's constantly telling my son, dictating who can come down to
Figure it
the
out.
property and who cannot. I want my oldest son to be able to come to the property and stay because he's homeless right now.
Oh, wow. What disrespect, Creed. What utter disrespect. I put up a picture depicting something that was in the chat.
Didn't like that.
It was like that, you know.
I just want to jump over here real quick. I just wondered, do you think that Jerry's related to Richard by any chance?
가능하지 않은 날이 언제입니까?
What is
My
that?
scheduled leave was on May 16th
Well,
until
ain't
May
that something?
27th.
That's probably better, actually. That's pretty
My
better.
blood
than
pressure
all-
was through the roof during that.
Did I really seriously, and I was listening to part in the beginning, trying to understand exactly what was going on, but that was all very, very weird.
I think it all hinged on PPO.
Is that what they're trying to get rid of that? I guess.
Yeah, because all their kids are like
Basically.
grown,
Yeah.
all grown ass
Which
kids.
makes sense. Gonna find something without a interpreter. That would be.
That lady was
What
an
in
interesting
the hell is
interpreter.
this? We won't stay here, but what? My God.
Turn every 3-day trial into a 3-month trial because somebody needs so many accommodations.
This is some real court here, huh?
That's as real as he gets.
Well, I think in this case, again, even from Dr. Jones Forrester's opinions, he
look at those seats and doors.
Kidding, Mike. God, there ain't no dirt on them doors.
The opulence.
Questions, and I believe I said in my.
Is he capable of writing words?
If
I
he's
thought
not
he was
capable-
illiterate. I mean,
Oh my God, how many people
Well,
are
what?
there?
Understanding of the record.
And that's fair that he is. He
Rude.
does say though he would let his attorney know if something happened or if someone said something that isn't correct. He would let his attorney know. And I apologize if I mix this one up. with
Don't
the other
be
one,
rude.
but
I understand.
In terms of
Don't-
you're
don't-
absolutely
don't-
right.
don't
And
be
in Justice
rude.
Case, just so you know, the driving matters were in Appendix 37, as well as.
Sorry, say that again.
Appendix 37.
Okay, thank you.
And that's
Look at
actually
this
just one
lady's
reference
almost
to it.
asleep.
The other
Watch her,
reference
watch
to
her.
it is that he has the
They're too
wherewithal.
comfortable.
This individual,
Oh,
again,
they're
confident
so
enough to have wherewithal that he can't read, he can't write.
I like
So he
movie
actually
theater
took
seats,
someone, he had someone apparently take.
They
the test
fold
for it.
up.
And I
Even the
say that
floor. Look at
not
the
as a
floor.
matter- And this is what's written in the
God.
psychological evaluations. Now, I'm not saying that. to
Where
say he's a
are
bad
we?
person for doing
Heaven?
so. I'm simply saying that his competence level is that of someone
Dubai?
who's held responsible for his
Where are we?
actions. And that's my ultimate point there. But we
So are
did.
you saying that he had someone else take the driver's test for him?
He said that he had somebody
Okay.
else take the driver's
So
test.
that cunning you think is significant in terms of his competence?
How the hell you pull that
Yes,
off?
I get your point. Okay, thank you.
Have someone else take a driver's test.
Basically, I just wanted to.
Harry
conclude
Potter straight across
this
from my
was the
finger.
Gravest sanction, if you will,
World's youngest
imposed
attorney.
upon an individual
Right? These are better than you get at a damn movie theater.
by dismissing this case when you have an individual who at least understood why he was in court and the behavior that got him there. And for that, I do believe the district court abused its discretion.
Not to be too picky, but there is some wear right here on the doors.
Thank you for your briefing and your arguments. And that'll
I like to think that's just glare. Oh wow! Look at that. Value water.
All right, the curtain behind me reminds me of the Gov's office in Blazing Saddles. Remember the curtain? And there's things going on.
Look at that chandelier. Wow.
My God.
Oh,
Are we
that thing's got a
slowly
skunk
walking up to the
patch. Somebody forgot to get their hair dyed before court.
I gotta see where this is at. Nevada Supreme Court. All right, so it is Supreme Court. That makes sense.
Beautiful place.
Oh, absolutely. They got an app. You just order it on there, and they bring it right to you.
Courtroom I'm in, I think the judge has hemorrhoids. She's been standing up the entire time I've been watching her.
Okay, our next matter is docket number 82038, State versus Meds. Counsel, you ready? All right.
I haven't even said anything about the fact that they're drinking tap water.
I could again, please reserve 3 minutes for
This guy again.
Alexander Chen, on behalf of the appellant, State of Nevada. May it please the court. At Mr. Manson's challenge hearing, his counsel asked Dr. Jones Forster the question, are you saying that just because he has intellectual disability that he should not be held accountable for his current charges? Dr. Jones Forster's response, no, not at all.
Doctor?
I'm not saying he should not
What
be
are you
held
doing
accountable
here?
for his current charges.
Yes,
I'm
he
merely
says.
saying that his lack of competence, intellectual disability, his neurocognitive difficulties, and his clear lack of understanding of these matters should all be taken into account and
See
weighed
that.
when decisions are made with regards to this case. However, Dr. Jones Forster was testifying in a challenge hearing where the crux and ultimate point of her testimony was to advocate her belief that Mr. Manson was incompetent without the possibility of restoration. If her finding
Incompetent, illiterate.
the only result was for dismissal of the charges. The only thing that
I like
could
that
happen
somebody
is
gave somebody
that he would not be held accountable.
they took the driving test for him.
He could be civilly committed in that instance, correct?
He could, but I'd like to discuss that, Justice Stiglish. So in order to be civilly committed, though, the state would have to make a petition that not only was he danger to himself and potentially, he had an imminent danger to himself and potentially others. Now, yes, there's a statute that provides for that, but in this particular case, the charges that he was facing were sex assault with a minor under 13.
Oh!
He was 18, he was 13. It wasn't. a
Wait, he
traditional
was
sense of
18?
We're worried that he's going to
Still
perhaps
bad.
go in and do something horrific in a public place or showing danger to himself or others.
Boy, that comment really
While
went
that is
took
a
a bad
possibility,
turn, didn't
I'm
it,
not
our
sure
guy?
Yeah, I think they are, guy.
We would have been able to satisfy the requirements of that statute because I don't know that there was evidence of this imminent harm. Now, I do believe even some of the evaluators in this case determined that there was not imminent harm so that we could file a petition, but it's unlikely we would have prevailed on that. So ultimately, the only realm to deal with this case would have been in the criminal case, not with the civil commitment proceeding. Were the facts different in this case, perhaps there would be an argument to be made. And certainly, again, I believe everyone here has seen their share of individuals with psychological issues. There obviously could be cases where there's an individual who should be committed, and perhaps the criminal justice realm isn't the best realm for them. But I don't believe that that's what we have in this particular case, based upon the evidence that we have regarding his intellectual competency to proceed.
Well, if you're 18 and she was 13, aren't you?
Now, here, similar to the other case, there were a number of things
you meet?
that the
That's the
defendant
important
was
part.
competent enough to do. He met this individual on Facebook, apparently. So he can use Facebook, he can meet up with her.
Say meta.
He knew what a sexual relationship was.
He knew?
He knew that he knew what protection was. And he talks about sexual protection. He talks about that in his evaluations. And he talks about that with the police. And in fact,
Magnum
according to the
condoms,
police
dude.
report, the mother's main problem with this issue was that he was having the sexual relationship with her daughter, but that it was also unprotected. And he realized that he could have a baby if he had unprotected sex.
Your Honor, the only ones I had, it was
Despite
in
the
my
fact that he's 18
middle
and she's
console
13,
and
there's never an allegation
90
that
out.
she wasn't willingly in this relationship. The problem is that they knew these were all possibilities, but based upon their age, that's the problem. One of the things that Dr. Jones Forrester talks about when she talks about his ability to aid is, well, he didn't understand
I didn't notice,
the
Karen.
idea of consent. Now there, I would say that that's an irrelevant consideration in this case. Why? Because consent wouldn't matter when it comes to these charges. The fact of the matter is it was their age. It was not her desire to be with him or his desire to be with her or their idea that they thought they were in love. That's not being That's not the issue. The issue is, can an 18-year-old have sexual relations with a 13-year-old? And that's simply not okay. So when Dr. Jones Forrester,
I didn't know whose hands, but it doesn't say anything in the description.
one of the things Dr. Jones Forrester says is, well, he doesn't understand. When we get this idea about rational understanding, what does it mean? She argues, well, he doesn't understand why it's wrong. I would submit that many of the defendants who enter the criminal
I'm going to
justice
submit
might not
the fact
agree
that
with
this
the
is going to
law,
get really messy, I think.
why the law is what it is. But here, the state has an interest in protecting 13-year-olds from being subjected to sexual relations with those that are above the age.
Chen, how would you define rational understanding? What's your definition of that?
I think the rational understanding is that they understand and are willing, understand the proceedings. So it's basically the language as it is, Justice Stiglitz. I think rational understanding is that they understand what it is. It's not, hey, what are you being charged with? Oh, I think I killed somebody. So, you're only here for a sexual assault on a minor. That's not killing.
That's it.
somebody.
No.
There, I would say there's no rational understanding. There's no understanding, period. Here, we have an individual who, again, I'm mostly relying on Dr. Jones Forrester's report because that's the report that we relied upon. You have an individual who clearly
Nice hand
understands
sanitizer back there.
what the crime was, is willing to work with his attorney.
Sounds like
Certainly doesn't understand.
this was a whole
one of the
relationship.
Complex things as Dr. Jones Forrester. But I would say
The mother
understanding
knew.
that Dusky requires is
And
exactly
she didn't mind that they
Know
were
why you're there.
engaging in any activities, just
that
that they
you're
weren't
able to
protecting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, the fact that, and I would actually also say, when Dr. Jones does some of her follow-up questions, I myself wasn't sure what I would say if I were in that position. I mean, she asked some questions like, if the charges go away, what is that? Or if you win at trial, what does that mean? And he says, well, I think I get to go home. What other significance does that have? And then she criticizes him for saying that he can't say anything else beyond the fact that he would go home if he wins at trial.
Do you think there's any validity to her opinion, to that doctor's finding?
I equate it to something like this, Justice Stiglitz. If you're
Oh,
watching,
I wonder if she is.
For instance, in a sporting event, and
She
there's
might
a
be.
referee call, and you see the call and you say, you know what, for my sake and for what the outcome that I want, I hope that this is the call that ultimately happens. But in looking at the TV and trying to be objective, maybe I could see how it's not the right call. I think Dr. Jones Forrester, who made her neuropsychological evaluations before he ever even went to competency restoration proceedings, had an outcome that she believed was appropriate for this particular individual. And despite the contrary evidence, despite the improvements where his test scores drastically improved while he was at Stein, she wanted to ultimately see this outcome. And she had a reason to justify it because he couldn't answer certain questions that were posed of the defendant.
But you would concede, though, that she did do things that we would see in traditional competency analysis, correct?
I think, yes.
That's a weird way to
Made
answer that,
reasonable
wasn't it?
findings on those things.
Or am I
It's
just
you think
as
that
dumb
there are
as
things
the
far and above
diddler?
that she also applied.
Maybe.
Overlay.
A little bit of both.
And that's where I believe that her emphasis on rational understanding went beyond what Dusky requires.
But then isn't that up to the district court to decide that?
And normally that would be Justice Silver, which is,
Well, going forward, if a defense expert says X.
He knows
and
their
this
names
is
and their names aren't
Y,
in front of him.
I mean,
Good for
that's
him.
the prosecutor's ability to cross-examine that expert.
Good point.
And to show where they fail and that they're not presenting it pursuant to Dusky.
Is that Harry Potter's mom?
It doesn't.
That's
at
in the
end of
audience.
The day, the district
Might be.
court-
They look a lot alike.
If we're to reverse this, how do we reverse this?
I think it gets reversed
Thank you,
based
Fletcher.
upon the fact that the district court abused its discretion in relying upon
It's terrible.
information that was clearly beyond a Dusky standard. Certainly, if the
Well,
court
this-
gets the law wrong,
Typically, yeah, this doesn't seem too boring at all, though.
the ability to indicate he got the law wrong. And this is what Dusky really means. And when we say rational understanding, this is what we're talking about, not this complex understanding that the district court relied upon. And that's
Supreme
why
Court in
it's
Nevada.
discretion.
Okay, I want to go the same question I had with Adams, which is looking at Judge Bell's written order. You've kind of isolated that the finding of consent, the ability to understand consent
I bet.
is immaterial because it is strict. I mean, if you are 18 and you have sex with a 13-year-old, consent is irrelevant whether she wanted to do it or not.
But if he was 17,
What else in her order was out of bounds in terms of, like, it doesn't matter, that should not be a factor whether he
So you like tap
understands the
water.
reasons for nuances of
gross.
the 13-year-old can't consent.
I would certainly say everything with regards to aiding his ability to aid his counsel, because there as well, I believe she talks about how he would not always ask the right questions, or he would not always know what to do. But again,
we've all had clients like that, yeah.
And many of the strategic decisions are left to the competent defense attorney to
Microphone.
take the knowledge and be able to take, look, this is what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with an 18-year-old who potentially had a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old. How can I best
See
defend
that.
that? And as long as they're able to give some of that information, the defense is the one who strategically is responsible for.
Right, but you're trying to persuade us that she abused her
The
discretion
woodwork alone in here is
she made
impressive.
Very ornate.
or legally applying an incorrect
And
standard.
slightly
I
gaudy.
understand
You're
your
right.
consent
It's a
issue.
little
Is there anything else specific like that
gaudy.
that you
And he's
think
got giant butt
not
plugs
properly
behind him
rely on
when you go back to
removal
him.
of it in her analysis undercuts the legitimacy of her findings?
Boom.
Yes, Your Honor. In this one, actually, I forgot that he was also determined not to even understand the charges against him.
You don't want to sit on that one chair. See those two spots? Bad view.
He doesn't even
Basically is the plugs.
because he doesn't understand the purpose of the crime. Not that he doesn't understand that having a sexual relationship with someone is improper. So right.
Yeah, at QT they got it in the fountain, so I'll get that sometimes.
found to
But
have not been met by the district court. And
it's got as much sugar in it as game. Might as well just drink Mountain Dew.
Cut out the middleman.
You can disabuse me of this, but here's what I want to understand. I think we're conflating the legal and the factual. It would seem to me that, again, correct me if I'm wrong, that she found certain facts.
I hear.
And she applied them to the Dusky standard and found not competent, not reasonable probability. So is it that you don't like the facts that she found, or you don't like the application? Because she can apply Dusky. The question is, and if it's, I don't think she should have found those facts, just because I may have found different facts or I may have given different weight, how's that an abuse of discretion? So sorry, that's a little jumbled, but that's what I'm trying to understand.
It's an abuse of discretion because let's just assume that she hadn't applied the Dusky standard.
Somebody have their
We would all say,
phone
yeah,
on
she
in
made
court.
factual findings and she made findings about this individual and maybe he's slow and he has other issues, but it wasn't the right standard because Dusky is the one that applies to competency proceedings. And what our argument is, yeah, she is free to consider different types of evidence. However, at the end of the day, the standard that applies to this is Dusky, and it's our position that she didn't apply that standard. You can use the words, but still not apply the standard, and that would be our position here, Justice Stiglitz. Thank you.
Well, to go one step further and to tag along.
Let this
with that,
roll for just
when it
another
comes
minute
to
because
the
it is
ultimate
interesting, but
determination that
I don't know if we're going to
Mr.
get this is
Manson
probably a long.
is not capable of restoration. The discussion by the judge on page 4 and 5 says simply, at the challenge hearing, Dr. Jones forced.
How big
Just
is
trying to
that?
get something overturned or thrown out.
If at
You
deficit
know,
would be lifelong disabilities. Mr. Manson's educational shortcomings may be improved upon the literacy, numeracy, and writing training, but Mr. Manson's intellectual and non-cognitive deficits would significantly limit the range of any improvement. Based on Mr. Manson's lifelong intellectual and non-cognitive deficits, the court finds that Mr. Manson is incompetent without the possibility of restoration. That's it. That's all it said. I think we should be requiring our district courts to say more if you're going to dismiss a criminal case and say that it's not possible to restore someone's competency where there is a fairly substantial record by other experts showing that that has happened.
I think,
and in this case, this individual's IQ is 70 or 67, whatever it is.
I would briefly just say, I agree that all of that came out and much of our brief was about our own, or at least Stein's experts. But I would again point out that even in Dr. Jones Forrester, so rely upon the defense report itself, she acknowledges that there were progresses made. Now she
About her
discounts
16-year-old
the
boyfriend at home.
significance of that progress. So yes, he was able to do better. We appreciate the Slater method. He was testing better, but in reality, he just didn't understand it. And that's where we feel
well done.
To rely upon that, that's an abuse of discretion, Justice Hardesty.
So if they're trying to get it thrown out by that case that he was just reading, you're basically using that as
precedence.
Whoa. Hello, Skunk.
Good morning. Melinda Simpkins, Deputy Special Public Defender, and Daniel Page, Deputy Special Public Defender, appearing
A
on
public defender, and you're sitting in Supreme Court.
May it please the court. we
Okay.
believe
Big time, baby, big time.
The state has been arguing that there is actually substantial evidence in support of Judge Linda Bell's decision in this case. We believe the Dusky standard was properly applied, and that the state conflates the argument. In their argument, they conflate the legal standard with the evidence.
I believe there's a test for that.
That the state uses a minimal, not a
Pretty sure.
reasonable degree of rational understanding that is required by
We
justice.
once had the idea of all of us taking an IQ test to see who was smartest.
We believe the state should bear the burden.
I think that would have been
of
fun.
incompetence
I would have been the
is
lowest.
presumed, And the state would be the party rebutting.
Bad
so
at
they should
tests.
bear that burden. And the burden.
Not a tester.
in Convincing evidence, which if I get to.
Is 70 bad? I don't know.
Hear the state's argument that Dr. Jones Forrester used too high a standard, and then the district court adopted that too high a standard. Like I say, conflates the evidence with the legal.
All right. Those of you who want to watch the rest of that, I did drop the link.
That date is
have
vacant.
enough.
Yeah,
It's
we
time
sit
to
there.
move on and look at this.
I guarantee you that goes on and on. And on.
Oh yeah. I when we went, I just wanted you to
And
see the
go
court.
within here and here within 7 days of today's date. If there's a problem.
By the
take
way, this
contact
judge
my office.
has done court.
Like I said, we talked
standing
about
up.
this before. It doesn't look like the county has
I don't know if her
reciprocity.
hemorrhoids are acting up or
I
what.
guess you could double check, but I don't think. No. Yeah. Sorry. Huh?
That was a crazy courthouse, but it makes sense.
I don't think they do AWP or house arrest. So. Yeah.
Very close. Let's see this.
That was so close. Okay.
Wouldn't it be funny if you could see the rest of her chair and she had one of those round, blow up
A
rings?
donut. Yeah. By the way, the guy in the white shirt come walking out with a cane, like Papa.
All right. It should be on there. Should be on here. Yep. All right. All right. Thank you,
Finally,
sir.
she said that.
All right. So you don't have to record on Monday. Just take
Yes.
care of that.
He
was club effing footed, by the way.
And that guy might be club effing footed too. Yeah, he's having a. Oh, she just sat down. What are you talking about? Damn liar.
She-
Let's go over
she
Judge
stood up
Marbles.
the entire time, man. I'm
Oh,
telling you.
Judge Marble's not live. I thought he was live.
Oh no, Creed.
I've been watching for licking. Both of them, nothing happened.
I'm constantly trying to get licking.
I looked like I sent the wrong. I spelled autocorrect messed up the Romero 553.
Well, but they said that they're having issues.
I feel like
So-
this judge is like
I
Gilbert
did get the
Godfrey.
correct case number.
So
I
did
just
you?
resent.
I thought
You
you
could
had
do a
said
whole
on
comedy
Romero to vacate that.
Looks like Gilbert.
There was no prelim on that.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah.
I amended the minute order. I left. It was on.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it was on Poke. Yeah, I was like, okay. I thought, it was like,
Gilbert
wait a minute.
Godfrey. By the way, if you haven't liked this video yet,
All right,
what are you
so-
waiting for?
Well, let's
Don't
see
get
what
no
else
better than
we
this.
have left here.
You're waiting for the good stuff.
Oh, we got a second. 120 of you join us. For we got a case we do this 5 days a week.
We
by the
have
way,
Mr.
1 o'clock East.
Eichenroth, but we need Miss
Coming up
Cavill.
next, 2 for Tuesday. We got a chase coming up at 4:05.
Miss Echeverria. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see.
Come right back. I'm going to show you this odd placement. Why do they have their backs turned? Have you ever seen that?
Wow. So the camera,
even the podium.
But where's the judge? That's like a crowd.
Yeah. I don't.
John Stevens Jr.
So odd.
That's weird.
Is it just because he's not in the courtroom, maybe, and that's just a green?
We're gonna push our chairs to the other side.
I'm not sure it is.
So weird.
But yeah, going to trial is expensive.
Right. It's always cheaper to get them before free.
Technology-enabled domestic violence class. Digital impersonation and deep fakes.
She's having a time figuring out what she needs to do next.
It's
I'll
gavel,
go over and
remember?
see
Gavel
this. I've never seen this courtroom before.
I think that's one of the new ones. that
Sierra
we've had.
County.
Yeah, there's been some new added.
We have 3 cameras of the courtroom. I kind of like that.
We're
Nothing's
covered
happened.
on all sides, Creed.
He's just going through some files, I guess.
Well, I mean, he's about to rule.
I love there's nobody around except for the bailiff and then somebody that think the cop sitting in the first church pew.
Oh, excuse me.
It's the color. Is that? I think it's the color.
His hair is beautiful. Wish my hair was that dark. Probably was when I was his age.
Today will be the 5th day.
5
Do
days
you
in
have
jail.
other charges that you have?
Yes.
What's the other charge?
Assault with a dangerous weapon that's supposed to be dropped because it's with my boyfriend.
All right, that's
So it
something-
never happened.
Yeah.
This carries, Mr. Skinner is correct. It does not get reported to the Secretary of State. It's 0 points. It's a misdemeanor. So there is a maximum possible penalty of up to 93 days jail, fines of $500. Mr. Skinner's been appointed to represent you. You have a right to have a trial by judge or jury. Are you pleading guilty and waiving that right?
By the way, this is the same courthouse
At a trial, you would have
of
the
Judge
right to call
Herman.
witnesses for your defense.
We'll come right back, but I want to remember Dave up there.
Oh, yeah.
He's still alive, you guys. Still alive.
Good to see him.
Used against
Looking
you,
great,
you
too. His
have the
glasses
right
make him
to
look
be
younger.
Presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you also waiving those rights?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Please raise your right hand. You promise to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes.
Did you allow yourself to operate a motor vehicle while unlicensed on November the 3rd, 2021 in Grant Blanc Township, Genesee County in the state of Michigan?
Yes.
She still got her hand up.
Well, I'm inclined
Of course
to
she does.
also
We see that a lot.
That people don't know to understand to take their hand down.
Yeah, it's weird.
Ms. Bernard, I'm going to sentence you to credit for time served. 5 days jail, I'll give you 5 days credit. You have, if you want to appeal, you have 21 days to do so.
What's there to appeal?
Thank you as well.
Judge, I think you should give me 10 days. I'd like to appeal that.
Joshua Michael King,
Uh-oh, 3 names.
22E006240M.
Oh, his desk is much, much nicer. Look at this dude standing up over there.
He's
Kinda
creeping.
in.
Do. Oh, look at this guy.
Are you Joshua Michael King? Are you
Yes, sir.
Joshua
Yes, I am.
Michael King? All right, you're
Yeah.
charged with disorderly conduct. Mr. Skinner is here on your behalf.
BRB.
Judge, for the record, Jeff Skinner, is there an offer on that?
There is. It's plead guilty as charged, no objection to credit for time served.
Okay,
Yes, they
Joshua,
do.
the offer is plead to disorderly person, and however much jail time you've accumulated, that would be your sentence. Are you interested in doing that?
I have one question in response to this is that my other case right now, do those days get discredited from that, or do I still get to accredit those days for the other case?
What other case do you have? This is Judge Odette. What other one do you have?
22 T00643. It's it's a malicious destruction of police property, a domestic violence, and an assault with the intent to do a great bodily harm less than murder.
All right, that's a Judge Crawford case. This case, what Mr. Skinner is proposing here through the prosecutor is this would end this case today. This would not affect your other case. So if you have 16 days you spent in jail, you're still getting credit for that also, and you would continue to get credit
Very
if
hairy.
you remain in jail on the other charge.
Eddie Monster.
Then I'd like to plead guilty on this case.
I'd like to let him plead no contest, Judge.
Okay.
And
Look
then
at
you
Sure.
review the report. You'd be better off to plead no contest, Joshua.
Okay.
Same disposition. Maximum possible penalty could be up to 93 days and or fines of $500. You have a right to be represented by a lawyer. Mr. Skinner's been appointed to represent you today.
Mr.
You have
Skinner's
the right
doing a
to
hell
have
of a
trial
job.
by judge or jury. At that trial, you would have the right to call witnesses for your defense. You'd have the right.
That
to
other case
confront
is
and
something, man.
cross-examine any witness who appeared against you. You'd have right to testify if you wanted to, or if you wanted to remain silent, you could without that being used against you. And you'd have a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you pleading no contest and waiving those rights?
I am.
Okay, and that's because of potential civil liability, Mr. Skinner?
Oh, we've watched Middleton
and because of these
lots
other pending
and lots.
matters.
He's one of our
Okay, that's
favorites.
Are you on probation or parole, Mr. King?
No.
He will be
All right,
soon.
Any objection of our refer to a police report?
No, Judge.
Okay.
Skinner. Yeah, that other case is huge. There are some really serious charges. This one, disorderly conduct. Psst, wipe it under the rug. That other stuff, man, he's gonna be. Oh, he's got a lot of serious charges coming up. Yeah, that's gonna probably. That's a good one.
Got a police report from Dribbling Township.
No, I did not. And it was delicious. Really delicious. Not gonna lie. Good stuff. Raising Cane's, everybody. He looks kind of crazy though. He's got that look about him, like, you know. Because if he's, what does he say? Bodily harm that was like just short of murder. You know, when he's trying to, you know, kill somebody, but didn't. That's not good. Domestic violence. So I'm guessing it was against a woman. Maybe his wife, and
All right,
damaging
I've,
police property.
read the police report, and I believe there's sufficient evidence of conduct by Mr. King in the parking lot operation of a motor vehicle April 6, 2022 to support that finding. How many days have you been there? 16 days? You've been in jail 16 days?
It seems like more than that.
Well, of course,
I
it's
think
jail,
it's been
dummy.
a few months. They
What?
remanded me on my last court date for the other case.
13 days. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sentence you to 13 days jail, and I'm gonna give you credit for time served.
So he
Thank you.
said he'd been in jail 16 days, and he said how long he'd been in jail. He said, I don't know, it felt like months.
You have 21 days if you want to appeal. Have a nice day, Mr. King. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this dude's in big trouble. That was the easiest thing that ever happened to him.
Delby Dewan Burgess. Delby Dewan Burgess. Delby Dewan Burgess.
We'll watch this one. Jump over to Protective Order Court out of Dallas.
I like the sound of that.
Delby
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, headbutt somebody.
Yes, sir.
Judge, Jeff Skinner for Mr. Burgess.
I've never heard of it.
Spoke with prosecutor. I think there are 10 or 11 separate matters.
Sally, we did,
in
yes.
Mr.
Yeah.
Burgess
Good
this
guy.
afternoon.
He was
I
on.
want to have him on again and kind of do a
Prosecutor
deep dive,
advised
a
me
little bit of an
that If he
interview.
were to plead
with him. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
to one each, one retail fraud and one trespassing, they would dismiss the balance. And
We're down to fat jokes now, Alex. Seriously, this is how bad it's gotten.
they want.
I can assure you,
whatever
I don't
jail
look fat.
penalties
I
the
am
way
fat.
it could,
I'm
But
feeling
the
so much.
sentence would be 93 days. That's, I guess, that makes sense. That's kind of where we're at.
Protective
how
Court
long
took
it's been in
14
jail.
minutes, by the
How long
way.
you been in jail, Mr. Burgess?
Oh no.
3 days, Your Honor.
Well, they've offered to dismiss 9 out of 11 counts.
Goodness. Take it.
And
I'll take
exchange
that.
for
It's a
plea
good
of
deal.
guilty to 1 count of retail fraud, 1 count of trespass.
Pretty sure from a hammer hitting that. I can't imagine.
He was in a headbutt contest in the back.
Pretty good offer, Delby.
Died.
Thinking.
Died.
Take it.
Take it, please.
You wanna
Deal
do
or no
that?
Yes, sir. I do.
Maximum penalty on each of those charges could be up to 93 days jail, fines of $500. You have a right to be represented by a lawyer.
Just
You
do
cannot
now,
afford a
apparently.
lawyer. One would be appointed for you at public expense. Mr. Skinner's been appointed here today. You have a right to have a trial by judge or jury on both these cases. At those trials, you would have.
I think
the
he's
right to
growing a
call
horn out of
witnesses
his
for
forehead.
You'd have a right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses who appeared against you. You'd have a right to testify or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you'd have a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Mr. Burgess, are you pleading guilty to retail fraud and trespass and waiving your right to trial along with the rights of trial that I explained?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Burgess, are you on probation or parole?
No, sir, I'm not.
Please raise your right hand. You promise to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
We'll start with file 21E019530M. Did you commit retail fraud by stealing property that was offered for sale
Where
at the Walmart store in Grand Blanc Township, Genesee County in the state?
Dog.
Robert can see it, bud.
Walmart.
Yes, sir, Your Honor, I did.
Ugh, the Walmart.
Okay, let's see what. Did you take a Coke, a cola, and a hat?
Well, he needed that, Your Honor. You needed a hat. And a
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Your Honor, I did.
Thank you, Robin.
Without
Yes, sir.
permission or with-
They were just doing us all a favor by
And
taking a
had you
hat.
previously been warned or given notice that you were not to be on the premises at Walmart?
Yes, sir, Your
Walmart.
Honor, I did.
You have to go steal from Target.
But despite that, you did go onto the Walmart property, even though you had been banned from there for previous thefts. Is
That's
that
fine.
correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Burgess, how old are you?
43 years old. I'll be 44 June the 13th, Your Honor.
What?
Wow.
Sorry here. Why do you keep stealing stuff?
I thought he was like 63.
So he's my age?
Yes.
Algae feels a habit.
He looks old.
Yeah, okay, it's a bad habit.
Okay.
It's got a habit,
I mean,
a stealing
you got
habit.
11 cases here. I just dismissed 9 of them. How do you live? Do you got a job or do you receive assistance or?
Yes, sir. I receive SSI. I receive supplement security income.
Where do you live?
Somebody just yell, "What's
Walmart
that?"
store?
No, sir. I live by Flushing Road. I live on Bagley Street.
Bagley Street.
What would possess you to come from Bagley Street all the way to Grand Blanc to Walmart store to steal property? I mean, you got 11 cases here.
Cause that's the only store that got the capsules.
It's the only store that has what?
The capsules, Benadryls. The
got a
capsules. The other one got tablets though. That's the only one that had capsules.
Well, I'm gonna tell Walmart to get rid of those capsules so you quit coming there and stealing.
Why does he want Benadryl capsules?
He pled straight up.
Drugs?
I'm not giving him 93 days. I'll give him.
I don't know.
Somewhat less. It's probably gonna be released.
Is that
anyway.
something that's used in making meth or something?
I'll sentence you to 69 days. I'll give you 3 days credit.
Yes,
69, baby. Get it.
So I got 69 days in jail.
No, 66.
66 to go. All right. You have 21 days if you want to appeal. The other cases will be dismissed.
Oh my God.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so 66 days.
Yeah.
Yep, 66. Thank you.
Starting the day tomorrow.
Hey, starting today. Hey, one last thing also. You are banned from that Walmart store. Going forward, if you ever come back in this court, I'm giving you the maximum possible penalty.
Ulysses.
Stay out of the Walmart store.
What?
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
43, my ass.
All right, it's adjourned. You guys can be on your way. We'll send you a new notice.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you, Judge.
bow tie there, Alexander. Scotland.
All right.
I like that he's posed up in front of his stuff.
Carolyn Moore versus Cleavon Blackmail. We're back.
Gotta be, right, Carol? It's gotta be.
It's gotta be something. He's putting in something.
Hey, are you both here?
I'm here, Judge Carolyn Morris, President.
Mr. Blackmail, are you there?
No, Judge, he is not.
Say blackmail?
Somehow he did.
Look at AC Dumbass. Dumbass.
I have no idea, but he's been missing from the meeting for some
Is this leave your teeth at home day in court?
Yes.
What's going on here?
Sandra's chomping on something. She gumming good.
Alex.
Okay. I got proof of insurance here.
Okay.
You're so funny, Al.
Now, can you fax the estimate to me?
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a reason why he's going to
No, sir.
there to
I don't have an
specifically
estimate
get
I'm
Because
sorry.
he has to have the
Email it.
capsules so he
Can
can
you
open them.
Yes, I can email.
Order
Yes, I have
stuff out.
email address. Yes, sir.
You can email it right now. You can scan it and email it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, please.
Oh Lord, he going to
All right, Sandra's jaw's got to be hurting by this point, no?
I'm doing it right now. These are my email. You want my email address, right?
No, no. You're gonna email
You
it
dumbass.
to us.
Yo,
Okay,
man.
the fax number.
What's your fax
Can you
number?
get the email
Insurance
address, please?
company. The insurance company has faxed us proof that you were insured, so you're in the game.
William, consider it done.
I need to get.
You got it.
I mean, I'll do my
Done.
best.
There, and the
Good
police
job.
report would be nice too.
Done.
I had the police report also. Okay.
Thank you, William.
She's got someone there asking for the email address. However.
Is your nickname also
I can
Dirty?
be here if I send them an email because our firewall will block.
That's true.
attachments.
Okay. So
Okay.
who's there operating the email?
My daughter.
Hi, this is Crystal
Okay,
Moore.
daughter, take a listen. She's gonna give you.
No, I'm asking if they can give me an email. I'll send them a test email like I
Right.
did before.
Okay,
He's
daughter,
getting up.
give her your email address or where you want, so that
Getting up.
Because we do have a firewall that blocks a lot of this stuff out.
She's just gonna walk away.
All right, thank
He's
you.
gonna wander
is
off. Get
Crystal.
ready. He's gonna wander off
RY
during court.
GAL Elijah ELIJAH08@AOL.com.
AOL, of course.
Dumbass. AOL, everybody. They'll get that email in about 6 days.
Sending you an email. The
And he's gone.
subject is test
He crept away. He's like,
my email address to the court reporter.
They just walked right out on him
he'll do that.
and they cut it.
1 through 6. And on page 6,
Creed, welcome
I
to New
have,
Jersey.
a signature
Oh,
of
wow.
Ralph Conquest at the defendant line. Okay, it's my understanding that you probably didn't handwrite those RCs. They were typed in. You didn't handwrite Ralph Conquest, it was typed in. Did you give one or
And
both
use that
of your
email when you're walking
attorneys
through the
the
mall, all
authority
those
to,
things that they give away,
put
like
your
the
initials and your
four-wheelers and
names on
all
this
that stuff?
form?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you continue to give them the authority to sign in your stead?
See what I can
Yes,
do.
ma'am.
Oh, my personal email. is
On
still
the
AOL.
supplemental plea form for Grades Act offenses, I also see your name typed in. You give your attorney, Ms. Levine, the authority to sign your name for you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a
Thank
very
you.
weird looking
And on
room.
the
He's
supplemental
in.
plea form for drug offenses, that having to do with the Dieter penalties and the lab fee, I also see your name typed in. Did you give your counsel, Mr. Freeman and/or Ms. Levine, the authority to sign your name for you?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you continue to do so on both these forms?
Yes, ma'am.
This is our
All right,
first New
thank you very
Jersey
much.
courtroom, by the way.
Just from that thing you
Okay,
said over
did
there.
anyone tell you to give me the answers
hard
that
to
you've
use,
given
though.
me today?
They're all
No, Your
hard to
Honor.
use.
And
gotta
have you
really
entered into the plea
navigate.
agreement on these 3 charges intelligently and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did so without coercion or force by anyone?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel, is there anything else
Very
you'd like
good.
to place on the record? Any corrections to the forms or anything else you'd like for me to consider before I place my findings on the record?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Sorry, Your Honor, Jared Freeman. Part of the plea deal is that Mr. Conquest is to be released, so I just want to bring that to the court's attention, that's all.
That's correct, Judge. That's one of the reasons we pushed this through because his grandfather's funeral is pending his release, Judge.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
me ask-
They're holding up the funeral for this guy to
I'll
get
just note
out.
for the record, the state has no objection to the defendant's release on level 3 supervision on all files.
All right, thank you very much. Let me ask you one more question, Mr. Conquest. Are you pleading guilty to these charges because you are in fact guilty and not just because you'll get released today?
No, because I'm guilty, Your Honor.
All right, I just want to make that clear. All right, thank you very much, sir.
I would imagine that Jersey
now that
is going
I've
to be
heard
much different than a
the
lot of
answers
this that we
to
watch.
the questions and all information
From what
provided
I've
by
seen,
counsel along with reviewing these forms, I find
A
that the
lot
defendant
more
has provided an actual factual basis for
thorough.
his guilty plea
If
to
that
each
makes
of
any
these 3
sense.
charges. I find the defendant has entered into his guilty plea knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily, not as a result of any threats or promises or inducements not disclosed on the record. I find that the defendant has entered into his guilty plea after consulting with his attorney and upon the advice of competent counsel with whom the defendant has indicated he is satisfied. As a
Speaking of
result,
being
I
thorough,
find that
she
the
reads
defendant
a
understands the
book.
natures of these charges
Uh-huh.
and the consequences of his plea thereto. I find that the defendant admitted to the charges on the date and places complained of in the indictment and the accusation and committed the offenses as alleged, as supported by his guilty plea. I find that the defendant has been very alert and comprehending throughout the entire proceeding as illustrated and evidenced
Well, he
by
does
my
seem pretty alert.
colloquy with him based upon his testimony and my observation of the defendant. I find that the defendant is not under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or medication, which could interfere with his ability to think clearly and understand these proceedings.
I'm
I
surprised
find
they
that
don't make
the
him take off
defendant
his mask.
understands and has
You know what I'm
knowingly,
saying? Just so he can
intelligently, and
make sure and
voluntarily waived his
identify them
constitutionally
properly.
guaranteed
He's in there
rights as
by
a criminal
himself.
defendant. I find that the defendant has not been threatened or coerced into pleading guilty has not been promised anything other than what we discussed on this record. I find the defendant understands the range of sentence that may be imposed and is acknowledged signing the plea form, which the court adopts by reference by allowing his counsel to do so in his stead. I also accept the defendant's guilty plea and set this matter down for sentencing.
Shaka
May I
Khan
please
is
have
here
a
to give
sentencing date?
testimony, I think.
That's September 16th. September 16th
Operators
at
are
9 a.m.
standing by to take your call.
Is everyone available on September 16th at 9 a.m.?
Fine for the state, Your Honor.
I am, Judge. Thank you.
I can't believe they're waiting for this guy. Miss Cleo. Yeah, he's
Freeman?
the one. He's
Oh,
the
yeah,
baby's
sorry, Judge.
daddy.
I guess I got cut off, but yes, I'm available.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Now, it's my understanding there's an agreement between counsel that Mr. Conquest will be released pending sentencing. Is that correct?
Mr. Conquest, what a name.
That's correct.
And there's an agreement he will be released on level 3.
Correct, Your Honor.
I wouldn't do it justice.
All right, thank you very much. All right. Given that's an agreement of counsel, I will abide by same and order same. Mr. Freeman, let me strike that, not Mr. Freeman, Mr. Conquest, let me give you some information regarding your release. You're being released on level 3, which requires certain conditions. The first condition is you shall appear for all court proceedings. You shall not commit any new offenses. You shall immediately notify pretrial services of any change of address.
Joke's on you. He doesn't even check that email.
You are required to contact pretrial services telephonically every other week and in person every other week.
Probably that
You must
disgusting
report
tap
to
water you're
pretrial
drinking, Rob.
services via a phone call by 2:00 tomorrow afternoon.
He's just
When
droning
is
on.
your grandfather's proceedings?
10 o'clock tomorrow.
What time?
What's your grandfather's
10 o'clock
proceedings,
tomorrow.
huh?
Well, you can call them between 9 and 10. But make sure you call them before 2:00. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Just watch to see the bailiff.
Hey, that's our bailiff. Remember, we were like, why is there a bailiff? This is the guy. This is him. But they put him in what appears to be a Looney Tunes outro.
Let's go through the normal questions and
Jack
see
Brown.
where we're wanting to go. So on that one, you've not hired an attorney yet. Are you planning on hiring an attorney or just
No, he's
representing
indigent.
yourself?
Well, that's the thing that I did not know. I thought I could be appointing one, but if not, then I kind of have to rethink that because I don't know how much one would be for like a situation like this. So
Oh, imagine loving it and looking down into there and seeing that, huh, Jay?
Yeah. We've got, it's a relatively new ticket, so we've got lots of time.
Oh yeah.
I feel for figure out next steps, and so I don't mind, taking any number of routes with the ticket. So
Damn
if
it,
you wanna
Carol's
do
on
just a
drugs again,
reset
I
back
think.
to a docket like today, just another pre-trial hearing. Instead of setting it forward for trial, I'm fine with that.
You're hanging
In
out with
between now
Stormy
and then,
way
you
too
wanna
much.
Contact the prosecutor.
Carol and her agenda
footage.
over here.
By the way, Carol, they don't even use real lobsters. They get the Canadian, them Lagostino things. That ain't even lobsters anyways.
Saltwater
I don't know if
cockroaches.
there is any footage. Normally there is for.
Now what, Carol?
I would love to reset it back to like what we're doing right now, like at a later date, so it gives me more time to like know what to do.
Yeah, and then you could do just Google Denton traffic ticket attorney, even though yours is not a traffic ticket. That would get you the attorney's Class C charges, and then call a couple of them and say, I got a PI ticket out of Denton. How much would it cost for you to represent me on it? And then you get a ballpark idea there.
Nah, that's bullshit, Carol. They use that for everything except for when you take it out of the tank.
It's a request for
They're gonna tell.
discovery, but saying I want to
Don't
watch
let
the
them fool
video
you.
is good enough.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions?
What's up? Yep.
Thank
Pleasure.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Glad you noticed.
All right.
I did it for you.
Discord on.
I'm gonna send you a button that has you unmute. How are you today?
Oh, wow.
Beautiful hire.
We've got
Two beautiful heads of hair back to back.
tickets.
Can't
You
say
want
the
to
same
do
for Bailey.
deferred disposition on both of them to keep them off your record. Does that sound correct to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Speeding, it would just be pay the ticket at 150, no new tickets for 90 days.
Well, Jeanette, they got about 3
Driving
things
a
on their
license
menu. Don't
invalid
worry
would
about
be
it.
The longer
You're missing
deferred to give you time to get license fixed. So it's a 6-month deferred, pay the ticket at.
Is he doing
She didn't give
crossword?
me an amount.
Like
Normally she
crosswords,
sets
you
that at
think? or-
150. Does that sound correct to you?
Sudoku make
That's
them.
what we discussed. Yes.
Okay, so 300 total. 6-month deferred. Don't get any new ones for 6 months. Get your license fixed. Show proof back that you got your license. Does that sound right to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll get you moved over to final breakout room. Click over there. We'll send you a form
Ooh,
to sign
wonder what happens
by
in there.
email. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Pay that
Laura,
ticket.
Jonathan, how are you today?
Next head of hair.
Good deal. We've got a public intoxication ticket back from May.
The judge has one of those
Prosecutor
cool
wanted
things. It's a
scheduled
big
forward for
glass
final
thing, and
trial
it
setting.
moves
Does
up
that
and
sound
down,
correct to
for
you?
the temperature and stuff.
Yes. Perfect. So
Weather
the
buff.
Questions. You've
Yeah.
not hired an attorney yet. Are you planning on hiring an attorney or?
By the
just
way,
yourself?
things are just as crazy as shit over at Judge Herman's
the
right now.
attorney-
Well, let's go
I
over to
mean,
Judge Herman. I've heard.
Alright.
A letter-
Okay.
My God, everything is moving.
So where is? Was there any kind of a written agreement or anything that said that the car was being sold?
Yes, I got it in the text messages.
And where is that?
It's in front of you. 1 second. Let me go to the page number.
Hey, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Ooh, baby. Back
days
to
in a row.
back. Come on. No way.
Judge, did you need to state that other case number on the record that you're referencing? with their-
I can. The dismissed case
Yeah,
was
that'll need lots,
21G 5218.
You were right about that. Although I love the butter.
Okay, so it should be page 1 where she's saying that she's gonna give me $100 on the 24th
So it's like small claims.
of each month.
I like that. $100 a month car payment. That's pretty damn good. We should all have that.
Well,
we're waiting.
He just needed a quick smoke, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he pounded a Newport and was right back in.
Ghee is good. I got a big jar of it. Secret to cooking good breakfast and or any food. Excuse me for just a moment.
Zip.
Would that be great if we heard that right now?
Looks like we're all alone. All alone.
I don't see it here. I don't see that. There's a copy of a text message. I don't see it. Where is it?
Yeah, it should be in the old case.
Well,
That's
I
not
don't
my
see it.
evidence.
Is
That's
it-
not my
is it- wait a minute.
That's not my name.
Hang on, let me look one more place.
Yeah, that's my evidence.
You said page 2 or page 1?
Page 1. It should start off with good morning. Baby girl in the middle.
Hey, good morning, baby
March
girl.
26, 2020.
Your Honor, I object. I never called her baby girl once. Got to keep order in Zoom court, Creed.
Okay. So who's green and who's black?
So
Or gray?
she's black and I'm green because she had to end.
Identify by name, please. Identify by name, please.
Okay, Brenda is in black and me, Kamisha, is in green.
Brenda. Where's Brenda? I don't see Brenda here. Oh, there's Brenda. Brenda looked like a man for a second. Sorry.
Oh, purple hair. Is she still gumming?
Oh my God, that lady. Hey, baby girl. We should make all car payments $100. And then
Right.
every time somebody switches hands of a car, it's still $100, no matter how old it
Okay.
is.
Miss Carol, do you have that? The text messages that
Carol?
we're talking about?
No, not in front of me.
Was it given to you earlier?
The last time we came to court, we went over this, yeah. And right now, she's trying to sue me of something
Did you
else.
hear that?
It's
That's
the
some
same
weird
thing.
noise.
No,
Somebody
it's
said
not.
she lying.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah, they said she's lying.
You know, it's not lying.
Oh,
You told the mediator when you got the car was damaged.
No.
It wasn't running.
Okay.
The
I'm
engine.
not gonna
I don't
argue.
see here, I don't see here, I don't see.
Wayne
here
is
where
the one that
total
said she's
price
lying.
is noted.
Page 12.
Page 12,
Yes.
okay? Who's that talking?
it's Wayne.
Someone on another case who's muted now. Judge.
Okay, all right.
She lying. Wayne silently contributing to the whole shebang.
Okay, 1,200. So why are you suing for 2,500?
She full of shit.
Well, that was because it was for the like what like if the car was running, what could I get for it? So that was like if it was in good shape, basically.
But you agreed on 1,200.
They even
Yes,
pulled
I
him
did.
down.
Alexander barely even moves. He looks like he's in a wax museum.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was
so,
part of the Hall of Presidents.
Miss Carol, what do you say about that?
Carol?
Judge
What you
Melba,
think
if
about that,
continue
Carol?
reading Down on those papers, you'll see that my daughter agreed to pay her because I wasn't able to pay her. Her and my grandson got into it verbally or whatever, but she called wanting the car back.
Amir stays out of
returned
our.
the car back to her.
Wait, listen to me. Why does it matter who's gonna pay on there? She's gonna pay on your behalf. Your daughter and grandson, right? On your behalf.
It was my daughter, not my grandson.
Who, okay, so.
That lady
she's
didn't even
gonna pay
take
on
it
your
serious
behalf.
this morning. She's still in a house.
After
code
she
at
received
court.
her income taxes, she was gonna pay for the car. But the car I had, she gave me the
Oh,
car.
and she just smelled it. She
There was
just
not no
put her
agreement
breath and then
about
just
no
smelled it.
money. She said she got them tax.
She just laying and sniffing on them fingers.
Carol.
I can't get out. I can't get out. It's about the
Hang on.
transmission. It's about the engine.
Hang on.
She sold me a lemon. Oh, look at here. This car's a real piece of it, if you know what I mean, Yana.
It's got that Pee Wee Herman look for sure.
Looks like he's got a hospital band on his arm, or he just got back from the club.
Got another gummer over here. He didn't stop jawing the entire time since he came on.
Most people are missing teeth these days. No teeth, not one.
How dare they?
You guys used to be really nice cars. Never. Your teeth are nice too, Creed. Oh, that's beautiful.
Taco with 5 bones. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me. Thank you for the tacos.
This is Taco Tuesday.
I like Jack in the Box tacos, by the way. Is Herman okay?
Oh, I think we broke them.
Okay, page 3. Since it's in fair condition, you can just give me 1,200 and it's no rush. And the response is, yeah, okay, sure I will. My first payment on the 17th.
Fair condition. So
Just send it to me all at once. You'll come out more sending it to me and we can, being as cheap as possible. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Baby girl sounds good.
baby girl.
Baby girl.
Put it on me. Baby girl, put it on me. Don't forget, if you're a member, you have access to all those great members only emojis. Like the dancing taco. Man. Judge Kim would have a field day in this courtroom.
Could you imagine?
He would lose his mind in here.
I think it would be fun to have a bunch of judges watch how
other
judges
operate.
do things and just hear their thoughts.
High five.
Grade Z meat paste. I don't even think you can call it meat, even if it is soybean meat. It's just paste.
So beanie.
Yes.
Sandra's still gumming, still going for something. She just keeps reaching in the bag like when I got my Swedish fish the other day.
Is Brenda in witness protection?
$1,200.
Yes.
Along with Michael
Is that
Watson
right,
at the public library.
That's correct.
All right. These guys are taking forever. I just, real quick, before we wrap it up, I want to see what's happening over here. This
The
dude
ticket in the first place
is
would grant
blessed.
you a new legal status saying that you have never received a citation related to drug paraphernalia, a future job,
While he's working, no.
knowledge, etc. If that's an issue that you
driving
care about, would want there to be no records at all related to that offense, then you can come back and request an expunction after the deferred is complete.
pee in that cup.
We routinely, every 4 months or so, send out text messages to folks
God.
who have that kind of citation.
Oh, gee, I can't go the multicolored.
Deferred
No.
successfully, letting them know they can request an expunction.
Did the truck just roll over with him in it?
After your 90 days is run,
Yeah.
if that's something you're interested in, 4 months, 5 months.
I
down
think
the
he just
road, you can come
died.
Back and talk to us, or wait for that text message.
He's not
to come
listening.
through and fill out the form online.
He's gone. It's just us
you don't
now.
have to do that if you don't want
You're just
to.
talking to us and the bailiff.
Like that to keep that charge.
Bailiff, can you
gone
bring him back in?
and, completely erased.
Bailiff,
Any
wake
questions
up.
About that before we move you over to get some forms
Bailiff,
signed?
stop.
No, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
This is the most polite judge ever.
He really is. Oh, we're back to just him. We're going to finish on that. Take that as you will.
The spy.
He's like,
He likes this.
that is it. We'll be back 4:05 East. It's not Toothless Tuesday,
It's 2.
but it is Tooth for Tuesday. Sidebar, Steve.
We're gonna
4:05
have a
East.
chase from Louisville, Kentucky, as well as one from Arlington, Texas. So be ready.
Awesome.
It
Thank you.
didn't happen yesterday, by the way. Let's go ahead and put that out there. These are classics.
Great crowd here today. Always appreciate that. Did Voyage earlier as well. If you want to get caught up on that, you may. Feel free. We'll see you guys back here about an hour and a half, a little less than that. 90 minutes, as they say.
And we'll be back ready for action. If you haven't already liked this video, take a second, do so. If you have not, adios, taco. Till we meet again. And yeah, that's it. Creed, we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. See you.
Hello, darling.
I was checking the specs on the end line for the rotary girder.